We got a 2016 Dodge Charger. It's the RT model. We're going to be replacing these hydraulic motor mounts up here. Go ahead and show you what these look like. Here are your mounts, and they're going to be the same from either the driver's or passenger side. Very first thing we're going to do is get the car on ramps. We're going to be working from the top and the bottom. We're going to be working over here around this alternator, so we're going to go back here and disconnect the negative on the battery. Got an extended handle ratchet, 2-foot extension and swivel, and a 16 millimeter. Now where we're going to be going is right down in here, getting the front here on the drivers. So these will be really tight, so you'll need an extended ratchet or a cheater pipe initially. Just going to move over here to the passenger side and get the front bolt over here. Just going to come right down through here. Okay, now this is how I'm going in here with the ratchet. You see we're coming right in behind this portion and then down there onto that, if you can see. And now we've got this brace that comes from the alternator back here to this motor mount that we're going to have to eventually get out of the way, but you can't really see it from up here. So we're going to go ahead and get this front bolt here as is. So with this swivel, I said it's going to be tight. You're going to need the extension or the extended ratchet, but you can get to it. And then we'll use the magnet to finish taking it out. We're going to go onto the car now. We'll just start over here on the driver's side. So you're going to have a cheater pipe to get these loose. Initially they're going to be extremely tight. So we're just getting the back one here on the driver's. Okay, now we're going to get a jack on here for support soon, but before I do that, I want to go ahead and take care of this brace here. Now this has got a 13 millimeter. If you can see, it's still over here on the passenger side. It's got a 13 millimeter right here that we got to get out, and then we've got another on the alternator itself. Now this is just going to take care of this 13 millimeter nut here. I'm just spinning it off. And there's that. Okay, so we're on the other side here looking, we're underneath the oil filter, kind of looking back over towards like where the tire would be, and that's just trying to give you a visual of this. This is a 15, and I've got a ratchet wrench here. And so this is going to be really tight. You will probably have to double your wrench or use a cheater pipe initially. But I'm going to go ahead and I got to take this bolt out here entirely, or at the very least loosen it up enough to where we can swing this out of the way here. Okay, so I've got it loose enough. I think we're just going to kind of like just swing it out of the way. Okay, our next task is going to be getting the 13 millimeter nuts. Now, we didn't tuck the front one off the other side there, but we got to get these 13 millimeter nuts that are holding the heat shield. Now, over here on the driver's side, you can pretty much get these from the top or the bottom, but over on the passenger, it's going to be easier to go from the bottom. Of course, I already got the front one, so you may find it easier just to go from the bottom, just ever how you want to do it. All right, so that reveals our two studded 15 millimeters that are actually bolting the mount onto the engine. All right, so we're just getting the back on this heat shield over here, the back 13 millimeter. We're going to just go ahead and get this bolt right here while it's nice and handy. Now, this engine can't go anywhere, even if it wanted to, but we are going to have to lift it up and off of these. So I've got a 15 millimeter. So you may need a cheater pipe. Or you can also double up the 15 millimeters to crack it loose. Or I'm going to switch over to my ratchet wrench. Well, that one's pretty loose. All right, so there I pretty much got the rear one loose. Got that one out. So for this front one, I was using a ratchet wrench, and it was very tight initially, so you have to use any means necessary to get it broke loose. And I don't have the room at this point to slip this out, so it'll have to come out with the mount as we lift it. But you see it's setting there, setting on this right here. It's not going anywhere, so we're going to get on the other side. So where room permits, we can double up a couple of these wrenches and get leverage to break these loose. And I've just doubled up a few wrenches, getting this top one and getting this from up top. Okay, last one. Now, essentially, we're just going to be lifting. We'll get a jack under here with a block of wood, and we're going to lift it until we can just pull these out from here and of course support the engine. Just got the jack position right here on this part of this oil pan, just lifting it. You're going to have to lift it a little ways to get it to start picking up off of these mounts. All right, let's start jacking it up here. You can watch that side. So you definitely want to, be cautious when dealing with this. You want to, have yourself blocks and jack stands, make sure in case something does give, you don't have your hand anywhere where it can get smashed in between anything. I'll just place this here just in case, and I'm just going to be pulling this mount right out through here. And you can see where that's busted right there. All the fluids leaked out. All right, let's go ahead and get our new mount back in the car. And this will only go one way, so if you try to flip it around this way, it's not going to set against the engine there, the engine brace. Now, before I do anything else with this, I've got it sitting on there the way I want it. I'm going to go to the other side and work on getting it out. Okay, that bolt is incredibly long up there in the front. You may have to push the engine that way to get that bolt to get where it's got clearance. Now it just fell off, but I'm going to have to make sure I put that on as I'm putting this new one in. All right, looks like I'm still hung up here. I think I'm going to have to shift this engine. Oh, there we go. All right, so I'm going to get the new one over here. We're going to put that bolt in, and it looks like this in here is busted as well, as you can see. All right, so I've got some medium Loctite on that bolt, and my plan is to feed it back up here with this bolt already in place, because there is no room ain't got it just right yet. I had to go up and roll the engine back that way and put a 2x4, a couple 2x4s. It was not wanting to. It was not wanting to go over here on this side where I wanted it to. So very first thing, I'm going to get this long bolt back into its spot here. All right, I got the really long one in place. I'm going to go ahead and start this one here as well. I'm going to see if these are any easier to start and get in place with it slightly lifted because I may have a little bit more room to work my little ratchet wrench. Now, if I was going to torque these, I would torque them like 35 foot-pounds. I'm not torquing any of these, except maybe these up here that are easier to get to. So I'm just going to snug both of these up here. I'll finish tightening them down once I kind of get everything set down in place. This will line itself up. You see it has this little tab that's going to go in here, so when you set it down, it's designed to line itself up where that bolt will go right into place there. So I'm going to get these snugged up, and I'm going to go to the other side and do the exact thing while I've kind of got it lifted a little bit. I think I do have a little bit more room to do this. Right, I'm going to try to get these drivers side from up top, maybe here. All right, I'm going to slowly start lowering this. If I have to, I can kind of guide those a little bit, but they should go where they're supposed to go. We'll see what's going to happen here. Okay, so there, that one is in place. Let's check the other side. That side is also in place. I didn't do anything, it just lined itself up. I'm just going to work these front ones in first. I'm just going to be tightening this one down with the ratchet here. I'm not torquing it. $35 foot-pounds if you want to mess with the torque wrench. And we're just over on the passenger side. And I just got that as tight as I can get it. And I'm just tightening this up with a regular wrench here. I've kind of doubled them up so I can get them nice and snug. Or I'm just getting the back one over here on this driver's side. Over here on the passenger side, getting the front bolt there, and the best way to get to that is just coming up here by the oil filter and tightening it from the front. So we've got these two on this side, just need the front one on the other side. Now I'm just tightening the top one here, or the front one here on the driver's side. Now you can get a socket and a ratchet, but it's not easy. You have to slip the socket on first, essentially, to be able to get it on there. Now I'm just going to snug these up a little bit. And remember, we got the brace that's going to go on that front. Bolts, we're going to get into a different position here. So we got our brace here. I'm just working from below. I can't really get a good position to show you anything here, but I'm slipping it back on the stud here. You just have to get it from down here because you can't get to nothing from up top. You can see it, but you can't get your hands in there. But if you see, I'm putting this 13 back on here. We're going to snug this down, and then we'll get over there and we'll snug the 15 up on the alternator. And again, I'm just snugging this up. It's too hard to get the torque wrench in here. Alright, so I've drove it around a little bit. It sounded better already. Those vibrations. Let's just look at this. I mean, this is about to just fall completely off of here. So if you're having some noises, you might want to take a look at these. So not too bad of a job. I hope you found this video helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.